Well, Amphibians, like, I think our focus is on songwriting, good songwriting. It's a pretty interesting mix of hard-hitting rock and then pretty experimental, sort of Eno-ish things, where we'll take a hard rock song and kind of open it up a bit and explore some of the possibilities that might not jump out at the listener on first hearing. But, you know, if you listen to the subtleties of the song, you would hear it, and that's what we kind of play on. You know, the subtleties of the songs, of these songs that hit you massively hard in the beginning, and you know, they come out a little bit softer and go into more subtle things.
Jonathan Healy, Burly Bear Network, and we're in the basement of Wetlands Preserve with Amphibian band members Andrew Southern, Scott Metzger, and Tom Marhsall. For those of our viewers who are not familiar with Amphibian, maybe one of you can fill us in on how it all began.
Trey from Phish and I wanted to start a band to play some of the music that we wrote that Phish wasn't yet covering, songs like Dirt, Oblivious Fool, which is also called Olivia's Pool, Bug, Twist Around. This was before Phish covered these songs. And so we formed a band with former Princeton Day School class members Matt Kohut and Peter Catoni. And the band was called U-Talk, and it failed. It just went nowhere. And we returned home from Vermont, the three of us, me, Pete, and Matt, and added some more members. We added Scott Metzger, who was in a band with Matt Kohut already, called F-Hole, and we added the percussionist, JP, and I pulled Andrew in. And then we added Chris Harford on this time around, so we're a 7-piece right now.
Your friend Andy Navarro started Furry Thug Productions. Can you tell us why you started the company?
A lot of it had to do with the local music scene in Princeton and Lambertville, and also I'd done some work with Andrew in my home studio and as a senior project, and I continued working with seniors at Princeton Day School and did 2 girls in a row, Steph Sanders and Anna Soloway, and I was so interested in their music. They play together as well as the Sarahs, and that sort of was the impetus for Furry Thug being started, was not really wanting to let these people go.
The quickness and the impromptu-ness of coming up with a name for a production company, is that how you came up with the name of Amphibian?
Well, Amphibian, you know, has that secret little twist on the Phish name, you know. Right. We use the F that Phish doesn't, blah blah blah. It's also, you know, a different phylum of animals or whatever. That wasn't the spur of the moment thing. Although at one point, the first incarnation of Amphibian was about to be called F-Stop. Until, yeah, do you remember? Matt wanted to call it F-Stop. And we were about to print like a flyer for a show at John and Peters or something, and it was going to go on as F-Stop, and I didn't like that name, so I quickly proposed Amphibian, which is something that's been in my head as it would be a good band name, and so that's how that came about, and it just stuck.
Now, you and Andrew are a little bit younger members of the band. I was wondering how the age differences are influencing the music and the sound of Amphibian.
I think we add a certain amount of spark to the band, to tell you the truth. I'm just going to be upfront and honest here. I think that as younger members in the band, like, we have a certain amount of optimism that perhaps some of the older members needed a little boost on, and so now it's like we can bring everybody to the same kind of level, and well, you'll hear it tonight, right? You're going to show some of that stuff tonight? Great. Okay, then you'll hear it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.